Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason. This is my fuzzy co-star Freya. She may or may not make an appearance. Come here. She doesn't want to come here. And we're bringing you today's video. As always guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'd appreciate any support for our small little family channel from you guys. Don't forget, check down below for our Discord channel. And also, if you're interested in the book, check down below based on suggestions from some of you guys. I went ahead and signed us up with the Amazon affiliates program, so I have the links down below. But they'll kick us out if we don't have a certain amount of traffic going through these links. So for today, I want to talk about one of my favorite authors. I've talked about him in the past. Still an indie author, which just amazes me because he's got quite a few books out there. Absolutely fantastic. He's got 2 series out there, just incredible. So good. If you guys are fans of, say, Craig Allenson, or I'll just start naming some series. If you guys are fans of, say, Expeditionary Force or Omega Force, you guys would really enjoy this author and his books. The very first book of this particular series was the first, I believe his first published work, and while it was weaker than the rest, it was still pretty darn good. Really good, and it's just gotten stronger. So I'm talking about, those of you guys that have watched enough of my videos might know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Andrew Moriarty, just an incredible author, and book 6 of his Adventures of a Jump Space Accountant series. And again, guys, it's just utterly fantastic. I'm going to skip the usual 4 categories thing that I usually do because I've already done it for the other books. Guys, you guys got to check this book out. It's great. He writes so well. He's so amusing and so funny in how he writes. And his characters and the dialogue and the interactions are just awesome. I swear, you swear half the time, most of the book is just about the characters all trying to kill each other, even though they're supposed to be working together. But in this case, so this time around, we return to Jake Stewart, I believe his name was, and his continuing adventures in jump space. So he is still continuing to work for Dashi, but he has come into his own. As I mentioned in the previous few reviews, he's really came into his own, really got more confident in himself, more confident in his interactions with people, more confident in his brain and his abilities to plan and think and find ways around things. Although he does, of course, mention at times in certain situations, he wishes Nadine was around because she had more skill set in certain areas, and or even he uses Nadine or some of the others as threats, or almost weapons for him, because he's got plans pretty much all the time. So now he is exploring, and he's been exploring multiple jumps because they're trying to find other remnants of the Empire. Now that Dashi, who is an actual pre-Civil War, pre-Empire Civil War noble, and actually in line for the throne, now that Dashi has pretty much declared himself emperor, now they want to find more worlds out there, more lost colonies, more lost worlds, more lost remnants of the Empire. One, to try and find more information and open up more trades, because the system that Jake comes from, of course, was a mining system. So while they managed to figure out ways to sustain a certain amount of population, they can't really grow that much, which is kind of the whole point of a couple of the books in the series so far, of honestly thinning the population down back to sustainable levels. So they're looking for trade as well. They're looking for trade partners, ways of getting more food, more products. While they obviously have things to trade, being a mining colony, metals are going to be very important for industrial and especially space-based societies. So there's definitely trade things. So Jake is on this exploration mission trying to find more worlds, and they finally do. They finally find one. Naturally, there's some subplots going on because his crew that are supposed to be working for him, of course, aren't. Half the time they want to kill him, half the time they want to abandon him, half the time they want to kill each other. They all have their own plans going on. They all have, of course, learned that trying to keep things hidden from Jake is difficult, so they're not entirely certain whether or not he does or does not know what they are planning behind his back and trying to do, which, of course, adds a whole other level of intrigue to the book. And this time, the colony they find themselves on is almost feudal. It is pretty much, which kind of makes sense because the Empire was feudal. There were dukes, there were barons, of course, the emperor. So it's kind of fallen more into a feudal type of society. And Jake arrives pretty much as they're almost borderline Civil War-ish. And of course, that happens while Jake is there. And him and Nadine get separated. along with a couple of, I guess you could almost call them proteges, kind of like Jake is the protege of Dashi, and they get separated and on opposite sides of the Civil War, and of course they start manipulating things, not necessarily to their individual goals, but to the ultimate goal of their mission, in a way, or in some cases just to get off the planet or just to survive. But they start manipulating things. Naturally, they start manipulating things crossways of each other. Those of you guys that have read enough of the series will know that it's very, very difficult to out-manipulate Jake. But again, guys, this book it's awesome. It's awesome, and I cannot wait for the next one. Although I believe his next book release is going to be in his other series that is in the same universe, just a little bit further back in time, a little bit more core word, that deals with the Empire and the fall of the Empire, which is really, really fascinating, and actually is a lot more like, reminds me a lot more of Omega Force and just the oddball, weird crew. Whereas this one, of course, does have a lot of elements that remind me of it, but this one actually kind of reminds me a little bit more of Expeditionary Force and just how goofy things seem to always go for them. So, again, guys, check it out. After you hit the like and subscribe buttons, just check the links down below. Check out Andrew Moriarty. I really appreciate you checking him out because he's an awesome, awesome, awesome author. And he's one of the ones that I really don't think should remain an indie author. Somebody needs to sign this guy to start publishing some big books out to a bigger audience, because he's freaking awesome. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.